Today, the government has embarked on a hilarious political exercise, so hilarious that it is of monumental proportions. Today, the main champions of this present government are accusing the opposition of preventing the resolution that was introduced by the government in Parliament last Thursday, thereby eradicating the opportunity for the implementation of development programs. Several statements have been made by so-called responsible governmental personnel to authenticate this interpretation. I respectfully beg to disagree with those statements uttered by the governmental representatives, and I consider those statements to be full of falsehoods and absolute deceit. The government, during the past 13 weeks, have been unable to translate and transform their manifesto into practical, progressive governmental policies. Their declarations and proclamations were pronounced to the whole country as a new path-breaking approach to Sri Lankan governance. However, the government has totally and utterly failed to transform and translate and put into action the declarations, pronouncements, and proclamations that they provided the Sri Lankan people. I would like to pose this question to the present government. What were you doing for the past 13 weeks without introducing a budget consisting of proposals and promises that were encapsulated in your political manifesto, presidential manifesto? The first action that this government took was not to introduce a budget, but to prorogue Parliament till the 3rd of January. And even after convening of Parliament on that day, up to this date, the government has failed to propose a cohesive budget. In parallel, please observe the way the government that came into being after the 2015 presidential elections, how we behaved. We were sworn in as cabinet ministers on the 12th of January 2015. Within 3 weeks, we put forth a budget, even without a parliamentary majority. And we managed to fulfill the promises that we gave to the people. The famously known 100-day promises, 100-day program. What this government has done in their so-called 13 weeks of inaction, inefficiency, inefficacious government It is all there for Sri Lankan people to observe. What we have today is a government strangled by debt, squeezed by inefficiency, lacking leadership and the financial management skills to guide the Sri Lankan economy. This ineptness and incapabilities have had a disastrous and detrimental impact on the people of our country. Last Thursday, the government put forth a financial resolution consisting of two parts. The first, development proposals, for which the opposition gave an unconditional guarantee of support. This resolution contained a second aspect. The second part consisted of raising the loan ceiling, which the opposition vehemently objected. We wholeheartedly objected and vehemently objected to the second proposal. How did the government react? They made a tactical withdrawal, withdrawing from both aspects of the resolution. We, as a responsible, modern and progressive opposition, have been utterly determined to ensure that the country development is never sacrificed nor compromised. We have wholeheartedly and vehemently had a consistent and persistent political stance, which is not to obstruct nor object to development programs due to political exigencies. We will not be an irresponsible opposition. We will be a responsible opposition that promotes growth, that promotes a progressive economic path for everyone in our motherland. But we certainly objected to the loan ceiling being enhanced. Please observe the political dichotomy that is exhibited by this present government. We have the present Prime Minister in his visit to India requesting Prime Minister Modi for a postponement of debt repayments up to 3 years because of the financial crisis facing the present government. While requesting for postponement of loan repayments from India, it is also stated that if India does so, China will also follow suit. Now, having made this request from the Indian Prime Minister, we have the hypocritical situation whereby the present government comes to this sovereign parliament of Sri Lanka requesting for a 212 billion rupee additional loan enhancement and an increase of the loan ceiling. What a preposterous proposition. It's hilarious. It is unbelievable It's an incredible exercise in political deceit and double talk. So I would like to reassure the people of our motherland that we as a government will not object to progressive, positive, and pro-Sri Lanka policies. We will not engage in petty party political prejudices. We will not base our policy decisions on politically whimsical grounds. Our policy decision making is based on sound principles and facts and substance. So I urge the people of Sri Lanka to give us the opportunity of forming a government through the general election that is about to be declared. We shall strive to have a non-corrupt, people-based, transparent government that will practice what it preaches, that will fulfill the promises that are given to our people and our electorate. In this context, I would like to urge members of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party and all other democratic forces to join up with the Samagi Jana Balavegaya in order to create a unique political culture, a momentous political structure that would harness all resources, mobilize all talents and capabilities to promote and achieve prosperity for our motherland and for our people.